Hello, this is Becca from Willow Hill Designs, and welcome to my stitchy friends. Today I am sharing the finish of my winter visitors prompt for the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery field notes project, and I finally finished that. I'm a little bit late, but if you celebrate Christmas, you know what that's like. It's a busy time of the year. And but I did get it stitched into my accordion folded fabric here. And this is my page. I'll give you a little close-up of it. And the two little animals that I chose are a hare and a red squirrel. And I just think they're so cute. I thought I would do a hare rather than a rabbit. They're a little tiny bit different. And we have mostly gray squirrels here, but I do love the little red squirrels too. I think they're so cute. So for the hair, this is all really long and short stitch on here. Some of it is split stitch and some straight stitches, but for the most part it's long and short stitch on here. And I like to combine threads so that you can get different shadings of the colors, and I kind of feel like that gives it a furry look. And so for the bunny's fur, I used these two colors. I used two of the brown and one of the beige, and then in this area 2 of the beige and 1 of the brown. And for his little or her little fluffy chest here, I used the ecru. These are all DMC flosses. That's ecru. And this other color, which is kind of a taupey color, 841. And I mixed those two colors here. Here I did a solid ivory or ecru, and then I mixed the colors as it came down into her fur. And then around the eyes, I did just the ecru, and then for the eyes themselves, I did the brown, just this brown, with a few highlights in them. And then for the ears, for the inside of the ears, I used two colors. I used a pink, this pink for the inside of the ears, and this peachy color, just to give a little kind of depth and shadow there with the ears. And I thought that worked out. It looked like little eyes. And as you can see, I put little festive, a little festive bow on this bunny or this hare, and a little scarf on the squirrel. I thought it's that time of the year, and I just couldn't resist them being festive as well. Maybe there's someone's little pets. As I was out in the field sketching these, haha, not really, but I just imagined if I was, that they would have some little festive touches on them for the season. So that finished off the little hare. And then for the red squirrel, I didn't really have the colors for a red squirrel, so I kind of used what I have. These are all DMC, but I have this DMC chart with all of the color cards, and these are the actual threads themselves. This isn't a photo swatch, this is actually the thread. And the nice thing is you can look through, and if you're trying to match a color, you can just hold your thread next to it and match that color, or you can look for the color and order it. Just see which one you'd like and order it. I didn't really have time to order any thread for this because I was running late all the way around. So the two colors that I chose for this little squirrel were these two colors, kind of an orangey brick color and then more of a reddish brick color. And again, combined those. And I also added a few touches of this kind of a pumpkin color, just to give some lighter highlights to the little squirrel. So those are the colors that are in there. And then I went through with just a single thread of that pumpkin color and just did some straight stitches, and I also used a gold color, which I didn't bring here, on the fur, just to kind of give it a little bit, take it down from this dark color. And then for the little chest here and tummy, I did the ecru again, and I did a little bit darker color for around the eye, and then that same brown that I used for the bunny, and also that same pink and peachy color for the ears for this little squirrel. And this is a little piece of vintage trim that I had for other slow stitching projects, and I thought it would be really cute to add that on here. So this is very, very fragile. It's barely holding together, but I stitched that on to look like a little scarf. And then when I came to the tail, I was a little bit sorry I had chosen a squirrel, because I thought, oh, good grief, you know, how am I going to make this look like a tail? And I didn't want to do turkey work because it's a field journal that I've supposedly drawn or sketched or painted on. So the colors that I used for the tail were, let's see, one of these orangey colors, brick colors, for the squirrel, and then I used some of this taupe in there, and then I used some of the pumpkin. So I combined these 3 colors for the tail, and I used 6 strands all together. So there's 2 of the taupe, there's 2 of that pumpkin, and 2 of that kind of a orangey brick color. And again, just doing straight stitches on here in different directions to kind of make it look like the fur on a tail, on a little squirrel's tail. And so I felt like that kind of looked like that little bushy tail that they have. And lastly, because these are winter visitors, I just took a white thread that I had DMC, and I just did some seed stitches to kind of look like snow on here. And also, I don't know if you can see, but I did add some little snowflakes, and I used an ivory DMC pearl cotton for that 12 weight for these little snowflakes. Not sure if you can see them. And all they are is just a vertical, a horizontal, and then a diagonal, and a diagonal through the vertical and horizontal. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 straight stitches, basically, all kind of in place there to look like little snowflakes falling. And so, and then lastly, I also added some of this fabric that I've been adding throughout the whole Field Notes journal with the script on it. I added some of that. I distressed the edges again with my Ranger oxide ink. And what I wrote on here was, of course, hare, labeling this as a hare. And the genus is Lepus or Lepus. I didn't look up the pronunciation of that. And I labeled this the red squirrel, and the genus, and I'm not sure how you pronounce this, Sciurus, Scirus. Not sure, again, how to pronounce that, but I did add that there. And the habitat for the little red squirrel is mostly pine forests. You'll see them. And actually, my daughter has these, daughter and son-in-law have them on their property, and there's lots of pines in their land. And the habitat for this hare is open areas, for example, prairies. So I just made note of that. And down here I put my initials and the date when I drew this, which was the 2nd of December. Today is the 12th. And so that is finished. And I love this. I've really enjoyed it so far. This has been another fun one. So there's 1 page left to this. This goes next to the winter. So this is the 2nd prompt for winter. And there's one more page left, and our prompt was winter flowers. And here where I live, there's really no winter flowers that I can think of other than snowdrops or poinsettias, and I didn't really want to do either. So I think I'm going to do some mistletoe. I'm going to just take some artistic license there and do some mistletoe. And as you can see here, my fabric ran out. I didn't have enough for the full width. So I just added a piece of this muslin that I had ripped and just did 2 rows of straight stitches down to join it. And that'll be covered by this page. So I'm going to put this page here. And then I decided I'm going to use this little piece of muslin that I was experimenting with. Actually, this isn't muslin. This is the same as this other fabric, this mottled fabric. It's ivory with a green mottling. I don't know if you can see it on here. This piece is faint, very faint. And what I did was this, I just took the edges and dropped some coffee on them and let it leach in to the center. And this is kind of what it turned out to be. This was quite by accident, but I love this little piece of fabric. So I'm going to use that as my very last page, and I will put mistletoe on this, maybe with a bow. We always had mistletoe in our house growing up. There was always mistletoe, and my husband and I have had it also for many years too. So I thought that would be a nice last page to my little book. And because the next 2 weeks falls on Christmas Day, December 25th, I think, I know I won't be making any videos probably prior to then. There's just too much to do. And so I thought I would just share quickly that this is the lining, and this is, of course, accordion folded the way that the little journal is, and this will go on the back of the journal. And what I decided to do, I don't know if this was a good idea or not, but I decided to add these little bird panels that I from some fabric that I had purchased. And I thought that might be interesting because it is a field journal. And I thought that that might be something interesting on the backs of these pages that have been stitched. So I really didn't want to do this accordion fold. I didn't want to just pull it out of the box like that, but it may end up that way. And what I will be doing on these when as I have the time, is I will just be doing a little kind of a border. This is just some torn fabric, and I'll just be doing a little border. I don't know if I'll actually miter it or just do straight strips, the length and the width of the little pictures, the little panels. Not sure if I'll miter or not, but I thought I would just frame each one of them with this green and just running stitch that on. So I think that kind of adds a little something to the back of the lining. I had originally thought that I would take every 2 pages of this lining and cut it here on the fold and then just make that a signature. So I would put this one. Oh goodness, I'm not crazy about these accordion folded things. So I would put that like that, and that would make one signature. And so this would be on the back. So you would see the cover and this stitching, and then the birds on the back, and then do that for all of the pages. But then how would you bind that? I don't know, without, I wouldn't want to cover any part of my cover up. So unless I did see Marion stitching her stitch booklet together just by doing something like this and stitching it together. Or could I take a narrow piece of fabric and use it as the back for a binding, stitch through that and just bring it around to the front and the back minimally, just a little tiny bit overlapping. I don't know. Or it may just end up being the accordion folded out little booklet or field journal. So I'm not sure, and I just thought I would share that now. Those are my thoughts going forward. And we'll have to see how this works out when I have time to see if I can work that out. And again, I thought I'd share my last page will be not a Christmas flower, but a little bunch of mistletoe. And hopefully I will get this finished not too long or not too far into the new year, because I know we have a new project starting. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. Unless I finish this sooner, before Christmas, I probably won't be back again. If I can get it done before then, I'll be back to share that. And but in the meantime, I'm wishing everyone that celebrates Christmas a very merry and blessed Christmas, and or whatever holiday you celebrate. Wishing you many blessings and peace. Thanks very much for joining me. Bye for now.